We shall move on to the improper rotation axis. That is, improper rotation axis is also termed as rotation reflection axis. That is, suppose if you carry out a rotation by a certain angle, that is, if you perform a CN is nothing but a rotational axis. That is, if you perform a CN and perpendicular to that one, if you carry out a reflection axis, then it is called as rotation reflection axis. It is also termed as SN. That is, it is also in the mathematical sense, it is also termed as SN. SN is nothing but improper rotation axis. That is, improper rotation axis means the rotation and reflection axis should be carried out perpendicularly. When you carry out that one, the initial configuration with reference to the orientation in space should be equal to the final configuration with reference to the orientation in the space. For example, suppose if we come to the trans-dichloroethene, along the principal axis, along the C2 axis, if you give a rotation of 180 degree, then there is an interchange of hydrogen as well as chlorine. Then perpendicular to the C2 axis, if you perform a sigma h, there is one more interchange, that is one more reflection takes place, and your first structure, that is a first orientation in the space, that is A, is equivalent to the C orientation, that is C structure. The structure is C. Then that is, it is having an S2 axis. That is, S2 axis is nothing but improper rotation axis. S2 is equivalent to the C2 with sigma h. That is, C2 operated on sigma h. That is C2 sigma h. That is, A configuration with reference to the orientation in the space is equal to the C configuration with reference to the orientation in the space. Next, suppose if we come to the staggered form of ethane, you are having one principal axis, that is C6 is the principal axis there. C6 is the principal axis. If you rotate by an angle of 60 degree, then you will have the second structure. And with reference to the principal axis, that is, you should take a plane that is perpendicular to the C6 axis. When you take a plane and reflect along the plane, what happens? The hydrogen, that is the front hydrogen, will go to the rear position and rear hydrogen will come to the front position. Because of that one, there is an interchange of rear hydrogens as well as rear carbons with reference to the front carbons and front hydrogen. That is, it is having a S6 axis, that is reflection rotation axis. That is, it is obtained by performing a C6 axis along with sigma h. That is, both are perpendicular in nature. In general, I can tell that SN axis is equal to the CN operated on sigma h. CN is operated on sigma h. That means you should perform a CN axis. With reference to the CN axis, you should have a perpendicular plane. You should reflect along this perpendicular plane. That is, it is having a SN axis.